You're kneeling in the dirt, blinded by a black hood. The humidity of the Sinaloa jungle is thick enough to choke you, but it's the sound that makes your blood turn to ice. The high-pitched scream of a chainsaw idling just inches from your neck. A voice whispers in your ear, "You thought this was like the movies, didn't you?" Welcome to the reality. In the cartel, there are no brothers, only tools. To get from the kid with a radio on the corner to the ghost who runs an empire, you have to survive 12 levels of pure hell. Level 1, the Falcon. You're a local kid with a cheap walkie-talkie. You sit on a plastic crate for 14 hours a day, watching for the Federals. You're invisible, a piece of human surveillance. If a patrol car passes and you don't key that mic fast enough, you aren't fired. You're erased. You earn peanuts, take all the heat, and your only reward is staying alive until tomorrow morning. You survived the corner, so now they test your gut. Level 2, the Mule. Your body is now a cargo ship. You're either swallowing latex pellets filled with poison or walking 40 miles through the scorched desert with 60 pounds of products strapped to your back. If the bag in your stomach leaks, you die in agony. If the Border Patrol spots you, the cartel expects you to rot in a cage without ever mentioning a name. Keep your mouth shut, and you might hit level 3, the Dealer. You're finally making real cash, but you're a walking target. You own a 3-block radius, and every rival gang wants to take it from you. You learn the first law of the jungle, plata o plomo, silver or lead. You pay the local cops to look away, and you pay your boss a heavy tax every Friday. If the envelope is light, your career ends in a shallow grave. This is where you learn that money always comes with a scent of gunpowder. The bosses noticed you're disciplined, so they send you to the kitchen. Level 4, the Cook. You disappear into the mountains or a hidden basement in the city. You live in a haze of acetone and chemical fumes. Your job is to turn raw paste into pure white gold. It's a job for the dead. One spark, one mistake in the mixture, and the whole lab becomes a fireball. You work under the watchful eye of armed guards who treat you like a slave. You see the massive scale of the business, thousands of kilos moving like an assembly line. You realize you aren't just selling a drug, you're fueling a global machine, but you're still disposable. If the feds raid the lab, the guards leave through the back tunnels, and you're the one who gets left behind to face 20 years in a federal hole. You aren't a person here. You're just a biological filter for the poison you're creating for the world. The cartel doesn't just need workers, it needs monsters. Level 5, the Junior Sicario. This is the point of no return. You're handed a cheap 9mm and a stolen motorcycle. Your target is a local journalist or a rival dealer. They don't want a clean shot, they want a message. You pull the trigger and watch the light leave someone's eyes. In that moment, your old life is officially over. You can never go back to being a civilian. You've crossed the line into the blood contract. You're now a soldier in an undeclared war. The cartel gives you a better gun and a safe house, but you realize you've just traded your soul for a slightly better view of the abyss. You start to see everyone as a target, and you realize the person you should fear the most isn't the police. It's the man sitting next to you in the getaway car, wondering if he's the one who will be ordered to take you out next. You've proven you can kill. Now you must prove you can terrorize. Level 6, the Collector. You are the face of the cartel's wrath. When a business owner refuses to pay protection or a dealer steals a shipment, they send you. You don't just bring a gun, you bring a camera and a machete. Your job is to create content for the dark corners of the internet, horrors that keep the whole city in a state of paralyzing fear. This matches your grotesque art style perfectly. Shadows, blood, and cold-blooded efficiency. You've become a professional sadist. You don't feel the adrenaline anymore. You just see it as a job. You're a high-level enforcer, feared by the public and respected by the crew. But the more fear you sow, the more enemies you grow. You start checking under your car every morning and sleeping with a rifle in your hand. You're a king of the streets, but you're living in a nightmare of your own making. You've survived the street wars, so they put you in uniform. Level 7, the Elite Sicario. You're no longer a kid on a scooter. You're part of a private army with tactical gear, armored trucks, and heavy machine guns. You fight the military in the streets and win. Then comes Level 8, the Plaza Boss. You finally have a throne. You control a plaza, a major city, or a strategic border crossing. You are the shadow governor. You don't just pay the police, you own them. You decide who runs for office and who gets buried in the park. You're making millions, but the weight of the crown is crushing. You have to manage 100 egos, keep the peace between violent crews, and ensure the product never stops moving. You're a mid-level executive in a corporation of death. Your phone rings 24 hours a day, and every call is a new problem that could end with a bullet. You've traded the risk of the street for the pressure of a boardroom where the penalty for a bad quarter is execution. You've outgrown the violence. Now you're a strategist. Level 9, the Logistics Master. You are the architect of the invisible. You don't touch guns anymore, you touch maps and satellite data. You're the one building 2-mile tunnels with ventilation and rail systems under the border. You're the one buying retired Soviet submarines to ferry 5 tons of white gold through the Pacific. You're the one bribing port authorities in Rotterdam and New York. You're a master of the global supply chain, playing a high-stakes game of chess against the DEA and the CIA. If a shipment gets seized, it's your head on the block. You have to be smarter than the smartest agents in the world. You're a ghost in the system, moving billions of dollars of inventory through the veins of the planet. You realize that the cartel isn't just a gang. It's a shadow nation with its own navy, its own air force, and its own rules. The money is coming in so fast you can't count it. You have to weigh it. Level 10, the Launderer. You live in a penthouse in Dubai, a villa in Spain, or a high-rise in Miami. You're a legitimate billionaire. You own banks, construction companies, and luxury hotel chains. Your job is to take the blood-soaked cash from the mountains and turn it into clean digital numbers. You're the most important person in the organization because without you, the money is just useless paper. You move in circles with the global elite, rubbing shoulders with the very people who claim to be fighting the war you're winning. But you're walking on the thinnest ice in the world. The feds are watching your every wire transfer, and the boss is watching your every cent. You are a golden goose, but you know that as soon as you stop laying eggs, or if you try to fly away, the cartel will cook you alive. You are the shadow of the man at the top. Level 11, the lieutenant. You are the COO of the empire. You don't see the sun, you live in reinforced bunkers with a security detail of 50 men. You manage the wars, the alliances, and the purges. You're the one who gives the order to burn a city to the ground to send a message to a rival. Your paranoia is a full-time job. You don't trust the food you eat, the air you breathe, or the men who guard your door. You know that you are the primary target for every ambitious captain who wants your seat, and you're the first person the government will try to flip to get to the patron. You're a king in everything but name, but you're a prisoner of your own success. You've seen too much, done too much, and you know there is no such thing as retirement in this business. You're waiting for the day the patron looks at you and sees a threat instead of a friend. Level 12, the patron. You are a god of the underworld. You decide which countries thrive and which ones fail. You have more power than presidents and more money than small nations. You are a legend, a myth, a ghost. But the view from the top is the loneliest thing in existence. You can't go to a restaurant, you can't walk in a park, and you haven't slept in the same bed twice in 10 years. Your children hate you, your friends are all dead or in prison, and your only legacy is a trail of broken lives and a mountain of corpses. The party is finally over. There are only 2 ways out: a concrete cell in Florence, Colorado, or a hail of bullets outside a safe house. You spent your whole life climbing the ladder just to realize it was leaning against a tombstone. This is the life you chose. This is the price of the crown. The music has stopped, and the silence is deafening.